3 may be the magic number, but 4 breaks records. This devoted choir student made TMEA All-State for his 4th year in a row.
And with the weather warming up, Reagan's Hills got us covered with a new edition of Weekend Destinations.
It's Tech Week for Theater's UIL one-act play, and Katie Smith has your T-Wolf Spotlight with stage manager Emma Frith.
Preston Scott is in studio with your top 3 things. Stick around to meet Winnie, this week's Pet of the Week.
And catch up with Luke Johnson and Katie Whitmarsh to get the scoop on this week's plays, goals, hoops, and the return of baseball and softball. And Katie Whitmarsh spotlights a championship run with an all-new girls basketball hype video. Let's jump in because the Wolfcast starts now. Good morning, Cedar Park. I'm Abby Martinez, joined today by Jack Polshik and Katie Whitmarsh. Very exciting show today. Get the T-Wolf Spotlight, hear more about the one-act play, and sports report. I'm excited for that, Katie.
We have a really exciting sports report. The girls' basketball is only 2 games away from the state championship game. It's really exciting.
Yeah, they're having like a great season. It's really interesting.
They're doing great. Really excited to see what they do.
Me too.
Every year, the Texas Music Educators Association sponsors a Texas All-State audition process to promote students' dedication to their music education. Each fall, over 70,000 high school students across the state audition in their region to make the All-State ensembles in band, orchestra, or choir. This year, senior Kaden Taliha became the first LIC student to make the All-State choir all 4 years of high school.
The Texas All-State audition process functions in 4 levels. Students first audition for region, then pre-area, and then area. From those candidates who audition for area, judges select students to be in the All-State mixed choir as well as separate ensembles for men and women.
So the TMEA process has been around for 100 years, and basically it's an opportunity for students to audition and participate in ensembles at the highest level.
She introduced me to the TMEA All-State Choir, and she was like, you should try out for this. It's kind of more of like an upperclassman kind of thing, but you should still kind of go for it. And so I kind of put in a lot of work into that, and funnily enough, I made it my freshman year, and I was like, you know what, we're gonna go for it.
Students typically learn 3 songs for each level of auditions, totaling up to 9 songs that need to be completely memorized throughout the audition process. This year, a virtual environment made the experience a little different.
Normally you would go and they'd give you the cut, you get to practice it for maybe 10 or 15 minutes, and then they'd call you in and you'd sing once through your cuts and you'd be done. But this time you got to sing it as many times as you like to get your perfect take, but you also got to keep in mind that everybody else is doing the same thing, so your perfect take really has to be a perfect take.
The All-State audition process is extremely competitive. Those like Kaden who advance far go through months of prep work with directors and voice teachers who guide them along the way.
I definitely want to give my biggest thanks to Miss Winchester and Miss Holt and Mr. Torres, who is our new assistant director this year. Also Mackenzie Malone, who unfortunately had to leave this year as our assistant director. They always do a whole bunch of like sectionals that we can go to where we practice the music, and they give their feedback because like Miss Holt and Miss Winchester were both judges themselves.
Kaden is one of the best students, if not the best students that I've ever taught, just in terms of his work ethic. And talent aside, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard, but you're not going to top Kaden Taliha because he's going to outwork you.
Because of its rigor and difficulty, the TMEA All-State process provides an incredible opportunity for students who plan to pursue music in the future.
This kind of process alone has kind of motivated me to go into a career with music. I've currently applied to several colleges with music programs, and my intent is to either go to just a college of music or a music conservatory.
Kaden has done stellar work elsewhere in Nats competitions and so on and so forth, and we wish him all the best as he goes off to his opera career.
If you're given an opportunity like this, I would say definitely take it. The TMEA All-State Choir is just an incredible experience. It really is one of the most exciting parts of the year for me. I really have loved every single time that I've gone to it, and typically you get to go with some great friends, and it really just is just an incredible experience.
The PAC has been working hard to bring A Monster Calls, a story of grief, acceptance, and truth to life. This week, reporter Katie Smith got to sit down with stage manager Emma Frith to find out more.
Thanks, guys. Today I'm here with junior Emma Frith to talk a little bit about UIL Theater's upcoming performances. So Emma, how are you today?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. So I know that you are the stage manager for UIL this year. What made you decide to apply to be the stage manager this year?
I really love stage managing. I kind of found out about. I started theater my freshman year coming into high school, and kind of just fell in love with all of theater tech and everything that it has to do with it. Once I found out that I was a terrible actor and that was not my route, and so then I found stage managing, and I have some like great friends that I've made throughout it, and it's just been super fun. And when theater shut down last year, or I mean, throughout this whole year in the pandemic, I mean, it was really sad. And so then when I realized that we were going to be able to do UIL, I sprung on that right away because anything to do with theater right now is just something I want to do. So,
Of course, definitely. And what would you say is the biggest challenge this year? Because, like you said, it is different, and theater has been shut down for a while.
right. No, it's definitely been like weird getting back into things like and having in person rehearsals and everything like that, and like working with everyone. There's a lot of restrictions that we're under too, which is really hard to do with theater, because you're up close next to people, especially tech too. We're always working hands on with things next to each other, and it's can be difficult, like trying to keep distance away from people, but we're doing the best to make it work. But I'd say definitely like the regulations also that UIL has put on us. We're only able to rehearse for a certain amount of hours every week, which is difficult. But yeah, we're making it work. So
Wow, yeah, it's really interesting to see how different electives are having to handle all of the regulations and stuff. And I know that you are also on the varsity dance team, the celebs.
yeah.
How has it been trying to balance those two things, especially in the pandemic?
It's been hard. I mean, for dance, I'm up at 6:30 every morning. I get to the school by 7. I dance for 2 hours. I go home. I do all of my schoolwork. Then I go back to the school for another 2 hours at the end of the night to do theater. And I've had some performances for LEPs, and like keeping all those dates and making sure they don't interflict with theater. It's been definitely hard. And then I also work almost all weekends at my job because I'm not able to work after school or before school or anytime during the week because I'm so busy with theater. But it's definitely been hard to keep everything under control. But I just found with communication and keeping a clear mindset that everything ends up working out. And so, yeah.
Definitely, just yeah, trying to stay organized, trying to keep
Right,
ahead of the
right.
game, all of those things. So, going back to the UIL show, I know that this show is pretty heavy, has some pretty interesting themes. What do you think about it might most resonate with the CPHS community?
It's a hard show to watch, and I think for me at least, I always tear up at the end, always. With some really big parts of it. I mean, death and coming to terms with your fears and stuff like that. And I definitely, we follow Connor, who is a young teenage boy in the show, and I think you definitely like relate to him when he's having this like he's having this crisis of not knowing where his fear lies, and like if he should give into these fears or if he shouldn't. And I think that can definitely translate to everyone's life in this pandemic, especially. And so, but yeah, I mean, I
That's
think definitely a more, not the most relatable show, but definitely are some parts in it where you're like, yeah, no, I totally get that. So,
Yes, and that's an amazing connection that you just drew, just with the unknowingness of the time that we're in. Definitely. So that's actually all of the questions that I have for you today. Is there anything else that you would like to add?
no, no, not at all.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to do this interview. I appreciate it.
Of course, it was
And
so much fun.
thank you. And back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Katie. The UIO competition is on Wednesday, March 10th, so be sure to tell the cast to break a leg.
Next up, Preston Scott has the top 3 things you need to know today.
What up, CPHS? I'm Preston Scott, and here are your top 3 things you need to know for today. First, Leander ISD will continue its mask enforcement policy for students and employees, despite Governor Abbott's latest order. The district tweeted Tuesday that it will continue to require all students, staff, and visitors to wear masks on district property and at district events. Next, the U.S. Pacific Tsunami Warning Center canceled a tsunami watch on Thursday in Hawaii that was issued after an earthquake occurred in an area between New Zealand and Tonga. The quake forced thousands of people to evacuate in New Zealand, but did not appear a threat to lives or major infrastructure. Finally, several Dr. Seuss books have risen to the top of Amazon's bestseller list just days after author's estate said it would stop publishing 6 books that contained racist or offensive imagery. On Thursday, 9 other Dr. Seuss books filled the top 10 of Amazon's bestseller list, with The Cat in the Hat at number 1. And that's all I have for you today. With CPHS News, I'm Preston Scott.
Thanks, Preston.
So we're still required to wear masks at school. How do we feel?
I think it's a good idea, just so we can eventually get back to normal. I think it's important that we keep doing what we're doing.
It's definitely like a good precaution.
Yeah.
I think we want to get there, like we all want to go back to our normal lives, but we got to do it slowly and safely.
You need to have this.
Yeah.
So, definitely important.
Now that the warmer weather has finally arrived, you may be looking for some things to do. Fortunately, we've got Reagan Hill this week's weekend destination. What you've got for us, Reagan?
Thanks, guys. First up, this Saturday, gates open for the annual Ranger Cattle Chili Fest. Enjoy the live music, cowboys on horseback, live goat roping, and of course, the chili. This outdoor event starts at 12 p.m. and ends at 6 p.m. Masks are mandatory. Tickets are $20 per person, so be sure to visit Ranger Cattle Ranch in Austin to taste some chili. Next, does social distancing have you feeling distant? Come together for a nationwide virtual dance party in the comfort of your own living room. From 6 to 10 p.m. every Saturday, party with DJ Mel inside your home safely and for free. If you are interested, go to twitch.tv/thedjmel to join the live stream this Saturday. Finally, you could spend your weekend zipping around town and doing some sightseeing with a bike rental from Mellow Johnny's Bike Shop. Bikes start at $30 for full-day rentals, and there are numerous hills and trails that are cyclist-friendly. So go have fun biking around Austin, just don't forget your helmet. And those are your weekend destinations for Friday, March 5th. I hope everyone has a great but safe weekend. With CPHS News, I'm Reagan Hill. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Reagan.
Stay tuned because up next we've got our sports report with Luke and Katie and a hype video.
Hello, Cedar Park, and welcome back to the Wolfcast Sports Report. I'm Luke Johnson.
And I'm Katie Whitmarsh.
Starting off with a bang, our girls basketball team has been on quite the journey this season.
That's right, Luke. On Tuesday, the girls faced Georgetown in the regional championship game and absolutely crushed it with a score of 44-12.
The defense was truly on point, holding a team to 12 points. Coach Ott's defensive schemes like full court pressing the opposition has been key this run.
The girls will travel to Houston to face Beaumont United tomorrow starting at 4. Congratulations, girls, and good luck.
Moving on to our boys soccer team, who has also been killing it. On Monday and Tuesday, they were tested with Marble Falls and Glen.
You guys will be happy to find out that the boys beat Marble Falls 4-2 and Glen with a score of 5-0.
Senior Parker Forbes led the squad with a hat trick, scoring 3 goals for the team in the end. Their next game will be today at Eastview starting at 7:15. Good luck, boys.
The girls will also face Eastview, but it will be on our home field starting at 7:15.
Throwing it over to baseball, on Monday the boys faced Elgin in a game that went down to the wire.
In a pivotal 6th inning, the second to last, our boys converted 3 runs to put us up to win the game 8-5.
If you want to witness one of these games, don't miss their next matchup against Rouse and Vista Ridge. That's right, this doubleheader will be held at Rouse with games starting at 10 a.m. and 1 p.m.
That's not the only action happening at Rouse. Our girls softball team will also be competing there against Rouse at 7, so don't miss it.
Well, that's all we have for you today. With CPHS News, I'm Luke Johnson.
And I'm Katie Whitmarsh.
Nothing can stop me, I'm all the way up. All the way up. I'm all the way up. I'm all the way up. Shorty, what you want? I got what you need. Shorty, what you want? I got what you need. Shorty, what you want? I got what you need. I'm all the way up. I'm all the way up. I'm all the way up. All the way up. Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up. And you can stay up. And if you ask anybody where I live, they point to the hills and say, go all the way up. Go all the way up. I'm all the way up. I'm all the way up. Nothing
it's time for your Pet of the Week. Meet our very own Coach Dean's adorable dog, Winnie. She is an 8-month-old mutt with the personality of a sassy teen. Winnie loves playing and swimming at the park and eating anything she can get her paws on. She loves to visit Coach Dean's students so much that she was even babysat by some of them. Winnie and Miss Dean have their morning coffee at Cypress Creek Starbucks, so come say hi if you can. That's all we have for today. Make sure to keep up with all of our content on our YouTube channel at CPHS News.
For more sports content, follow our Twitter at CPHS_sports.
Check out Monday's Wolfcast on stories on spring sports, in-person students back online, basketball, a new study tip segment, and more.
Thanks for taking time to join us this morning.
With CPHS News, I'm Katie Whitmarsh.
I'm Jack Polishuk.
And I'm Abby Martinez. Remember to make it a great day or not, the choice is yours. Have a safe weekend, Cedar Park.